Thursday, 17 February, the Gap News This Morning, podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. Record 27,831 COVID-19 cases reported. Single mum allowed to meet children at government childcare facility. Former Bangladesh envoy released from custody. Court affirms publisher did not defame Nasi Kandar outlet ex-director. MMA horrified over court's decision for 15-year-old rape victim. Canada protests, Ottawa standoff continues as blockades cleared. Ukraine crisis, no sign of Russian de-escalation, NATO chief says. NZ beats Singapore's Kian Yu in straight sets. And now the news in full. Malaysia has recorded a new all-time high in daily COVID-19 caseloads with 27,831 infections, bringing the cumulative total to 3,111,514. The nation's previous record was on August 26 last year when 24,599 infections were reported. According to Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, 97 of the cases are in the more severe categories. Category 3, 59 cases, Category 4, 28 cases, and 10 infections in Category 5. A total of 7,606 cases are in Category 1, while 20,128 are in Category 2, making up 27,734 or 99.65% of the cases reported. Dr. Noor Hisham said that among the 97 cases in the severe categories, 24 patients were unvaccinated, while 51 are fully vaccinated but have not received a booster dose. A single mother whose 3 children were unilaterally converted to Islam will get to spend time with them at a government childcare facility in Jitra, Kedah. Lo Siu Hong was earlier denied access to her 14-year-old twin daughters and 10-year-old son at the Social Welfare Department facility because of COVID-19 restrictions. The elated mother told Free Malaysia Today she was in Sungai Petani to buy her children's favorite chicken rice and Chinese sweet desserts. Former Bangladeshi High Commissioner Muhammad Hairuzaman, who was arrested last week, has been released. According to his wife Rita Rahman, he had called her to inform her of the good news. He told me his lawyers were there to receive him and were bringing him back to his house. Thank God and all those who have helped in his release. I thank the Malaysian authorities for this too, she told Free Malaysia Today in an interview. The federal court has affirmed a Court of Appeal ruling that a publisher is not liable in a defamation suit over 3 articles brought against it by a Penang-based Nasi Kandar outlet and its former director. Lawyer Hajinder Kaur, who appeared for New Straits Times Press Malaysia Berhad, said a 3-member bench chaired by Chief Judge of Malaya Azhar Muhammad had found no merit in the application for leave to appeal. The publisher was also awarded 30,000 ringgit in costs. The application for leave under Section 96 of the Courts of Judicature Act (CJA) was filed by restaurant Nasi Kandar Irfana Sendirian Berhad and M. Thayagarajan. The bench held that there is no merit to the application to have the full appeal heard. Hajinder told Free Malaysia Today after an online proceeding. The Malaysian Medical Association, MMA, has expressed its disappointment over the court's decision to charge a 15-year-old rape victim who had stabbed her newborn son for murder and calls for a revisit in their decision. According to MMA President Dr. Koh Ka Chai, the court's decision will lead to severe psychological consequences for the girl. This young girl, herself the victim of a crime 9 months ago, is now again a victim of injustice. If she's already depressed during her unwanted pregnancy, the risk of developing postpartum depression is definitely higher. There is a definite need to revisit the court's decision in this case, he said in a statement yesterday. He highlighted that survivors could exhibit high-risk behaviors and be subjected to mental health issues, in addition to reproductive health issues such as gynecological trauma and risk of sexually transmitted infections. He said that this added stress will eventually push victims towards unwarranted behavior such as infanticide. Thank you for being with us in this podcast group. You are listening to the Gap News, coming to you from Kuala Lumpur with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. More to come, news from the international front. Police in Canada's capital are telling protesters to leave the area now as the demonstration against COVID restrictions continues. Hundreds remain in Ottawa in defiance of the newly deployed Emergencies Act. The warning came as the last remaining border blockade at Emerson, Manitoba, came to an end on Wednesday. Authorities already cleared border blockades in Coutts, Alberta in Surrey, British Columbia, and the vital Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, Ontario. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has taken the unprecedented step of invoking emergency powers to crack down on the demonstrations. On Wednesday morning, Ottawa police issued leaflets warning those still in the city centre after nearly 3 weeks of demonstrations that blocking the streets or assisting those doing so face arrests. The people of Ottawa are being denied the lawful use, enjoyment and operation of their property, and you are causing businesses to close. That is mischief under the criminal code, the leaflets said. There is no sign that Russian forces are de-escalating near Ukraine, NATO's Secretary General says, despite claims from Moscow that it is pulling some troops back from the border. Jens Stoltenberg said Russia still had a huge force ready to attack Ukraine. He warned that the threat from Russia had become a new normal, adding that the defensive alliance was considering strengthening its eastern flank. Russia later denied Mr. Stoltenberg's assessment of the situation. A Kremlin spokesman reiterated that some troops were being withdrawn following the completion of military drills. Its defense ministry also published video on Wednesday purporting to show tanks leaving Moscow-annexed Crimea. And now for some sports news. Malaysia took the lead against Singapore at the Badminton Asia Team Championships after Lee Zijia beat Singapore's reigning men's singles world champion Loh Kian Yew in straight sets. In a Twitter post, the Badminton Association of Malaysia, BAM, said Zijia, Malaysia's number one singles shuttler, beat Kian Yew 21-6, 21-14 in the Group B match. Loh won the world title at the 2021 BWF World Championships last December in Spain. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. Record 27,831 COVID-19 cases reported. Single mum allowed to meet children at government childcare facility. Former Bangladesh envoy released from custody. Court affirms publisher did not defame Nasikanda outlet ex-director. MMA horrified over court's decision for 15-year-old rape victim. Canada protests, Ottawa standoff continues as blockades cleared. Ukraine crisis, no sign of Russian de-escalation, NATO chief says. And Zijia beats Singapore's Kian Yew in straight sets. This has been the Gap News this morning, Thursday, 17 February, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We certainly welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.